The difference between where you are right now and where you want to be is a decision. It's not more time, not more information, not another strategy. It's simply a decision, and we are going to talk about that today. A lot of people are sitting on the sidelines of their life and they are trying to decide, if they're going to do something or if they're not going to do something. And they're bouncing back and forth with ideas and everything. Well, trying to decide something isn't truly making a decision. And a lot of people are waiting to feel a certain feeling or waiting to be ready, waiting to feel clear, waiting to feel confident before they move, before they truly decide to do something. And the truth is that most people, with most of us, I would say that you have to decide and you have to move before you become confident and before you become clear. You just need to be confident and clear enough to actually start making moves. But one thing I've learned in my life is that clarity comes after action. You would think it would be the opposite, right? You would think that you have to get super clear on something before you move. And I feel like most of us, that is what we do. We plan, we tweak, we research, we do all of these things. And don't get me wrong, a certain level of planning is good. I don't think you should just go out there without somewhat of a plan, right? I don't think you should just dive headfirst into everything. But what I will say is you have to come to a point in your life where you have had enough and you're ready to go. Well, for those who don't know me, I'm Kia Valentine. If this is your first time, welcome. If this is something that you have been following me for a while, I am back. I'm so excited. I took a short break and I'm really excited. So welcome to the Rich Auntie podcast, where we talk about just creating your rich life, whether that's building your life systems, your wealth systems, or your business systems. All right. So we are the podcast that we get you together. We help you get structure. We help you get moving and get going, right? In the right way and the best way possible. So today we're talking about decisions, and I've learned that you have to take action first and then the decisions come. So let's define this, because a lot of people think they decide something when they haven't. And I feel like we really need to take the time to decide what a decision is, or define what a decision is. A real decision in your life. The part decision, there's a part of that that's incision, right? Incision means to cut. It means to cut off from every other possible outcome. So when you truly make a decision for something, it's simply that you are choosing that thing and you are not choosing anything else. So if you have different options, when you make a decision, you choose one option. And that's what you're going with. That's what you're going to move towards. That's what you're going to work on. That's what you're going to put all of your time, energy, and effort in. That means you're not going to look left. You're not going to look right. You're not going to say, oh, I'm going to try this for a little while, and then, my backup plan. You don't have a backup plan. It's when you decide that this is your only option. Okay, so that's what a lot of people are missing in their life, in their business. Everything is making an actual decision and concentration and concentrating on that one thing. Too many people are diversified into so many different things because they have not truly decided what they want to do, and they have not decided to stick with it. All right. So this is not, I'm thinking about it, I'm going to try, see how it goes. If that is your mindset on anything, that means you truly have not made a real decision. A real decision is simply, I am doing this by any means necessary, getting it done. All right. So just think about your life. Think about all of the decisions that you've had to make. Think about which ones were decisions of default, meaning you may not have made a decision at all. And because you didn't make a decision, you made a decision. Or it may have been because your parents made a decision for you, or just your conditioning and program made a decision. It wasn't really a conscious thought or a conscious decision. It was just something that you did because that's what society tells you to do, and or culture, and you just fell in line, okay? So think about all of the decisions you have ever made in your life. Which ones were truly yours? Which ones were real decisions? Which ones were, I am doing this and I'm not looking at any other options? And if you're sitting there right now and you're saying, well, dang, I've never actually made a real decision ever. Many people don't. Many people don't actually make a decision for what they truly want in their life. They are constantly dictated to by so many different things that are not truly their internal thoughts. They have not put any intention or conscious thoughts towards anything. So if that is you, I want to encourage you to now start making real decisions in your life. Start cutting off options that are not going to get you to your actual result and your goal. And that may seem scary, right? To say, oh man, I don't have a backup plan. I don't have a plan B. But here's the thing. When you're doing anything in life that's worth doing, a lot of the times that's how you have to be. You don't have the option to have your eggs in different baskets. It's like your egg is in one basket. It doesn't mean that later on you can't diversify or you can't go into different things. But when you want to truly build wealth or truly build a business, you have to make a real decision. And if you don't make a decision at all, it's still making a decision. But let's talk about why most people just feel stuck in life. Like they feel like they're not going anywhere. They don't know what to do. It's because they haven't fully decided, right? So they're constantly in the overthinking, hesitation, second guessing, waiting stage. They were waiting from last year, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, and still they find themselves in the exact same position, or maybe a little bit ahead, or maybe a little bit behind than where they truly want to be. And it's because they're in this state and in this phase where they're constantly circling the hesitation block. They're constantly second guessing themselves. They're constantly waiting. And the more you wait, every time you wait, we say you leave money on the table, right? Or you don't move forward. You don't create any waves. You don't create any results. You get the same of the same. You're in this constant state of just plateauing or just being there, right? And in that space, that's not a space for growth. That's not a space for certainty. It's not a space to allow you to grow into the person that you need to be, because there's nothing happening there. It is constant. It is never changing. It is always the same. And because you're in that state, you can't see things clearly. You can't take action. And that's where I want to get you guys out of today. And let me tell you, me too, okay? I've had moments like that. And when I do have those moments, when I truly need to make a decision now, I have the awareness. And so this is about growing your awareness to understand what state you're in. Like, am I here in this space where I'm hesitating, where I'm not making decisions? And if you're not making decisions, that's an issue in your life, because it means that you're not taking control. You're not being intentional about what you truly want. You're not moving forward. So if you're in a state where you are just going about your routine, going about your daily, and you're not getting the results that you want, you're not progressing in any way, you're not even seeing you don't even see a path clear, okay? If that is you, then we need to make some new decisions. We need to make some real decisions in your life. All right. So this is not about going back and forth because ain't nobody got time for that. This is not about trying to feel certain or trying to figure it out first. This is moving and figuring things out as you go. So if you want to have change in your life, you truly have to start making decisions. So let's talk about the power in that, right? The power of truly saying, you know what, I'm going to be responsible for my actions. I'm going to make a decision. I'm going to stick with it. And I'm going to take on all the responsibility of that action. Too many of us, we don't want to be responsible for anything. We don't want to lead in any way. We're fine being in the background. We're fine allowing other people to lead. We're fine with all of that. But at the same time, we're not fine with where we are. And so here's the thing. If you're not fine with where you are, you need to really look and say, you know what? I may need to take a position of authority here. I may need to step into my greatness, into my leadership role. I may need to take on some more responsibility. And even if it's a little bit at first, that's still better than nothing. Even if it's just pushing yourself just a little bit more, saying yes to a leadership role, really taking on the responsibility for your life and where you want to go, because no one is going to do it for you. There's no one in this life that is going to take responsibility for your success or for your results. That is solely a you thing, okay? And once you understand that, then you realize that you have no choice if you want the results to step into that role. Okay. Now, if you're fine with staying where you are, then cool. Keep coasting. That's all good. But if you're not, just understand that there is power in making the decision for your life. Because when you decide something, I can promise you, everything starts to shift. Everything, because it has to. Things have to shift in order to bring about what it is, that thing that you want, right? So your focus will start to sharpen, because when you're like, okay, this is what I'm deciding on, all of the mental power and everything that you have is now going into figuring it out. And we could figure out anything that we need to, because we are that powerful. We just have to make that decision. So your mental starts to sharpen. Your actions start to align with what you want. When you truly decide something, you can't stay the same. You can't keep doing the things that you wanted to do or that you used to do. You have to now start doing the things that you need to do in order to be in alignment with that decision. Because we're talking about a real decision here, and we're talking about the power that comes with that. It is a certain power that now you have, that it's like, okay, by any means necessary, I am going to figure this out. So your actions start to come in alignment. Your energy changes. The way that you walk, the way that you talk, all of those things start to shift, because you need a certain energy when you decide to take responsibility for something. Now you have the weight of that thing on you. So your shoulders get broader, okay? They go back, because it's like, you know what? I'm doing this. This is what I decided. And now I'm carrying the weight of that thing. And because you're carrying the weight of that thing, your postures start to change. It has no choice but to. Because when you feel the weight of your decision and the power that comes with that, it's like everything that you do, you move with purpose, you move with intention. It's something that is now building up within you. It's a certain energy, it's a certain type of spirit, right? That comes into being, because it's like you're truly stepping into that decision, and you're truly taking responsibility, and you stop asking, what should I do? You are not asking, what should I do? You're asking, what do I have to do, or what do I need to do? How am I going to make this work? So even the questions that you ask yourself, they begin to change, because you're looking for every possible way to figure whatever your decision is out. Okay, so decisions truly create direction in your life. think about you as a child, as a teenager, right? Many of us, I could still remember when I was a teenager, a little distant from that, but I could still remember it. And sometimes I think about it. Some teenagers, like with me and my friends, some teenagers definitely had more direction than others. It may have been because of their upbringing. It may have been because of their drive. It was something propelling them forward, right? And so when you think about a lot of teenagers, they don't really have that much direction. They are just like a ping pong ball in an ocean, right? Just trying new things, like trying to figure out who they are, wrestling with their identity of, of just everything. It's so much going on in their lives and trying to figure that out, right? And then you have some teenagers that they genuinely know what they want to do, or they at least know what they want to do for the next 5 years. They have some type of direction, and that's because they've made a decision. So if you have teenagers in your life and you see them going left and going right in all of these different places, it's simply because they have not decided in any way what they want to do, or at least a short-term goal that they have. And so it's the same for us as adults. If we make no decisions, we have no direction. It's like if you are in a state where you're constantly asking, man, what am I going to do? Or what should I do? You have not decided. So you don't have a direction. You have not given yourself a direction to move forward in any way. So it's like whatever comes, comes. Whatever everyone is doing, I'm doing. Oh, this is a new trend. Oh, that looks interesting. Let me do that. You know, it's always on to the next. It's always something new. There is nothing that you are rooted in and grounded in, and that's because you haven't made a decision, so you don't have any direction. And that goes with anything in your life, whether that is your relationships. Like Josh and I, like there was a time where it was our marriage, it was just, I don't even know what word to call it, in shambles. It was just all over the place, and it wasn't until we sat down and we said, you know what do we want out of this marriage? Okay, how do we want to feel every day? What do we need? Like, what do we see? Right? We had to make some decisions together in order to move forward together and give our marriage direction. So that's with anything. It's not just your business. It's not just your wealth. It's also your relationships, especially your most precious relationships. You have to make certain decisions for your kids. Right now, as parents, we have to make decisions for them. My kids, they get 2 hours of YouTube on a Saturday. Okay, that's it. Throughout the week, they have no YouTube. I made that decision. That's a rule in my house. Like once in a while, they ask me if they could. And even when they ask me if they could, my answer is still no. Because I already made a decision that I don't want my kids to be little zombies. I don't want them walking around with short attention spans. And as boys, they already are like squirrel, like they see something, they're out. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to foster that. I'm not going to put them in that situation. So I have to make decisions for them as their parent. But eventually they have to make their own decisions. And that's just what it is. As an adult, our parents made certain decisions for us as children. Our teachers made certain decisions for us. Our guardians made certain decisions for us. Our coaches made certain decisions for us as children, as young adults, maybe growing up. But now that we're adults and we're our own women and men, it's like we have to now take on that role. And sometimes it's not something that comes naturally because everybody has been making decisions for us all of our lives up to that point. And so it is time now for us to truly make those decisions ourselves and to truly be intentional for what it is that we want. Okay, so let's talk about how to make a real decision. If you are trying to make a decision, here's what matters. Number one, be honest with what you actually want. truly honest. I've worked with a lot of people, and even sometimes I find that I do it myself. It's like you want something, but you will decide that, oh, I don't really need that. You know what I mean? I don't really need to be at the forefront all the time, or whatever the case may be, whatever it is. But based on what you want, it's like you shouldn't be saying that you can do without, if that's what you truly want, right? So we need to start taking we need to start taking responsibility for what we really want, and say what we really want. Now, not what's safe, not just tiptoeing. It's like, what do you truly want in your life? It's like, if time and money was not an issue, if you could look at your life and you truly could say that anything that I wanted in this life, I could get it, what would that be? Don't be safe about it. Don't stay in the comfortable zone, okay? Don't be like, and there's so many different personality types. And so I want to encourage you today, if you're going to make a real decision, say what you actually want, what you really, really and truly want, with no hesitation. Don't put any limits on yourself. Don't put any boundaries on yourself. Don't tiptoe because you feel like your light shouldn't shine. Like, what do you truly want? Like, do that. Number two, stop trying to eliminate all the risk. I can tell you, I'm a person, I don't care for risk. I'm very calculated. And you may be that too. So, it's like when it comes to risk, there's always some risk involved with everything. You cannot eliminate every single risk. And if you try to, you will stay in that position forever, because it's not possible to eliminate every risk. Some things that you do, you're just going to have to deal with it. You're just going to have to take on the risk. It is what it is. So in terms of like, obviously with wealth building and different things, it's like you want to be calculated. So I always tell people, calculated risk, what makes sense. It's good to know all of the variables, because I feel like if you're building wealth, you should at least know the variables and be okay with what you're okay with, right? But in life, I'm just saying, sometimes you don't know all the variables, and that's not a comfortable position to be in. It's like when you don't know what you don't know. So I always say, try to at least know as much of the variables, but look at them and still decide whether you're going to move forward. There is no decision that you're going to make that does not include risk. You could minimize the risk, you could minimize the downsides, but you cannot fully eliminate it. So some things you're just going to have to say, well, I know this risk exists and I'm going to move forward regardless. So obviously it's being responsible and all of that stuff, right? But at the same time, just understand that if you're going to truly make a decision, you won't be able to eliminate all the risk, and you shouldn't try to eliminate everything before you start moving. That is the point, is to make a decision and move forward anyway, right? And number three is choose and commit. Not halfway, not let me see, not tiptoeing, not being lukewarm. You got to be hot. You got to be ecstatic. You got to be like, this is what I'm doing. So you have to choose. You have to choose every decision. If you're going to choose a partner, choose and commit. Understand that with every partner, there's going to be risk involved. People evolve as you grow and as you learn. You're going to evolve as a person. You're going to grow. You're going to learn. Any partner that you choose, obviously make sure that the core things are intact. Is this person a child of God, or knows they're a child of God and is walking in their faith? You know what I mean? Like, Are they reliable? Just some things you could ask yourself. It's the same with business. Is this business, like, what are the downsides of this business? Because I'm going to tell you, with every business, there's pros and cons. When you're building your wealth, there's pros and cons. There are risks to everything. But once the core things are intact, just choose and commit. Commit to your person, commit to your business, commit to whatever it is that you are doing. All right. So be honest about what you truly want. And that's with everything. Okay. And if this is a relationship thing, be honest with your partner of what you want and be honest with them. Don't, oh, um, I don't really need this, but it would be nice. It's like, no, just say what you want. All right. Stop trying to eliminate all the risk and choose and commit. All right. So you don't have to be confident and decide, right? Like, you don't have to be 100% confident in your decision. You just have to be confident in yourself that you're going to get it done. And that's probably another topic for another day. But once you have decided and you looked at the variables, you have to be confident that you 100% are committed to getting it done. So whatever needs to be done, you decide, and then as you go through and as you build, that's how confidence starts to grow. So anytime I've done anything, no matter what it is, if I'm in unfamiliar territory, at first, I'm not as confident as I am once I get going. That's the same for everybody. Think about it. You have had situations in your life where you come into something new and you don't know what the hell is going on. Like, you don't have a clue. Like, you don't even know all the steps. Like, you don't know. All you know is there's something you're doing, right? And then you get into it and then you start to do things. You may fail at some things, you may learn some lessons, and then you start to get results. When you start to get those results is when your confidence grows a little bit. And you're like, all right, yeah, I could do this. I could do this thing. And then as you continue on and you continue to grow, you fail a little bit more in some things. That's a part of it. You learn, you grow and you adjust. And then you get better, and then you get better results. And then your confidence starts to grow even more. So just understand that as children, we were so fearless. And then the world beat us up a little bit, right? We got punched in the mouth a few times with life. And we start to shrink and we start to not take chances and we start to go into default where everything else is making decisions for us. And I'm here to tell you today that it's time to break out of that. It is no more. You are going to take the reins of your life. You're going to jump in the driver's seat and you're going to give yourself direction. You're going to decide what it is that you truly want today. You're going to commit to it. And in spite of all the risk, you are going to move forward. And so confidence is going to build as you go through. But here's the thing. When you truly make a decision, you're going to do everything in your power in order to do it. If you say that you decide something and you notice that you're not moving forward, you're not doing things how you need to, it tells me you did not truly make a decision. You think you did. But I can tell you that every time you make a true decision, you will start to move mountains. There will be some ripples, okay? There will be some shifting. There will be some changes. Everything is going to shift. If you are saying, "Oh, this is what I'm doing," you can build yourself up, or whatever the case may be, and you notice, "Dang, I'm still not moving." You have not truly decided. You have not truly decided. When you truly decide, you will know. Because at that point in time, everything will start to be different. I can tell you that from experience. When you truly decide, not when you're saying you decide, saying it out of your mouth and actually feeling it within your spirit, within every fiber of your being, is two different things. Saying is not enough. But if you need to keep saying until you get it, then keep saying it. Keep speaking life into yourself. Keep taking small actions, even when you're not certain, right? But when you truly decide, you will feel it in every part of you, every aspect. It'll be like radiating energy in a sense. You know, we are from God, we are source. You could genuinely feel that power when you make a decision. And if you have not felt it before, then maybe you just have never decided, truly decided to do something. So I want to encourage you to make the decisions and start to move forward. And for some people, maybe they don't truly decide until they see some results. But I say that if you want to see the results faster, then you need to just decide and just say, you know what, whether I get the result or not, I'm going to do this. That is the type of stand that you need to take. That's the position and the posture you need to come from if you truly want to create something great, if you truly decide to do something. All right. And if you're in the space right now and you're like, where something needs to shift and you're going back and forth, I want to support you with that. So I do clarity and alignment calls. So definitely DM me clarity and I will send you the link, okay? Or I'm going to post it somewhere as well. But DM me if you want to get it before, I post the link. In these calls, we talk about what you want. We talk about your goals, and I support you in those and help you to see forward and move forward, where we could talk about where you are, what you truly want to do, what you're navigating in your life, because making a decision also does not come without resistance. Okay, that is a part of it. If you're deciding something, anytime you make a decision, and I won't say that the resistance will come right away. I know that in my experience, from what I've dealt with in my life, usually it comes pretty early, right? For some of you, it may come later on, whatever the case may be. But it's breaking through that wall and breaking through that resistance, because at some point it's going to come. And at some point, you're going to want to throw in the towel. And at some point, you have to decide again that you're not going to falter and you're going to push through that wall. You're going to break it down if you have to, with your bare hands if you need to. You're going to kick it down if you need to. It's like getting it done, right? Just busting through the wall like Superman. And so it's being clear and having the alignment in what it is that you want to do. And I help you with that. I help you with the decisions so that you could feel grounded in them, so that you could genuinely move forward. Because sometimes it's not that you need more time or you're not ready. Sometimes you just need a little bit more clarity before you get started. But like I said, you need to be clear enough. The power isn't in knowing what to do. It's genuinely in deciding what you're going to do. And once you do that, everything else starts to move. And so DM me, like I said, and let's get you started on your journey, whatever that may be. Whether you're building a business, we're all building a life. So that just genuinely, whether you're building your wealth, whether you are parenting and you're like, these kids, maybe it's something in your life that you want to do and you've been putting on the back burner because you've been in mom mode or you've been in dad mode, but you're genuinely like, I want to be both. I want to be a mom and I still want to follow my dreams. I don't want to constantly sacrifice all the time because I'm putting everyone ahead of myself. And I know we just had Mother's Day, and I hope you will celebrate it in a major way. But those sacrifices are great. But I know there's some dreams and some goals and some things within you that God put you on this earth to do. And yes, I would say being a mom is one of the highest callings. But there's some of us that we also have other things that we were genuinely put here to do. And so we have to learn to navigate that, right? We have to learn to be able to be both, to be able to give what we need to, but also to give in other ways that we need to. And then obviously, to receive what we need to as well. Just understand that your purpose, everything that you do is, yes, being who you are, but it's also the things that you were put here to do at the same time so that you could impact someone else's life. So, as you go through today, focus on what can you decide? What is a real decision that you can make today? What do you want today? That or what do you feel like you were put here to do? And genuinely decide that you're tired of waiting. You're tired of just being in that space where you're not doing anything. And you are genuinely going to decide and put your best foot forward. So I hope you guys enjoyed our session today. Like I said, we're back for Thursdays. I'm going to adjust the times later on for our summer months because kids are going on summer break, and I'm so excited because I homeschool and I'm looking forward to being on summer break myself. But, go out today, make those decisions and be blessed. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. God bless you.